Okay, so the hot news in the Malaysian car scene this week, of course, is the launch of the new Proton Saga. Proton calls it all new, but everybody knows it is developed on the existing platform of the outgoing generation Saga that actually dates all the way back to the second generation Saga, which is called the Saga BLM, and which also traces its roots to the Proton Savvy. So the first question that people are talking about is it justified for Proton to call this all new? The short answer is that based on car industry convention, it doesn't. But what we can say is that it is very new. And this is very interesting because Proton also applied quite a significant amount of changes to the X50 recently. Also 1.5 3-cylinder change to 4-cylinder, a full inside-out revamp and all that. But they did not call the X50 all new. They just called it the new X50. So this Saga, however, Proton decided to call it all new. And, well, the reason can be anybody's guess. Maybe it's because Proton felt that the current Saga, right, it's a bit old, and they just wanted to give it an all new name to sort of refresh the impetus a bit. Okay, but that being said, Proton is not fooling anyone. But at the same time, I'm not belittling the project. I think that from what I can see, it is a very pragmatically developed car because the Saga is an entry level product. If the existing platform works, there is no need to redevelop it. And I remember back then having this thought that this platform is too out of date to integrate things like ESC lah, ADAS lah, and all that. But Proton and Geely, they sunk in the resources to make it happen. So the thing is that, right, even though, yes, the basis for this car may date back to the previous gen Saga, but make no mistake about it, when you integrate technology that this car was not initially developed for, right, into it, the process still costs a significant amount of money, right? So I would say I won't hold it against Proton for reusing the outgoing generation platform. I think that it is the wise thing to do because in this segment, you want to be smart in where you spend the money. And if they can get the existing platform to work up to modern standards, by all means. Now, of course, there are also areas where you can see how well the age of the platform shows, and that is where the ASEAN NCAP score comes in. Now, although the new Saga scores an impressive 4-star rating, if you look at the individual score, the actual, like, you drill down at the marks, right, the crash score is actually lower than the current Perodua Axia, which is a new generation product. So you see, therein lies the advantage of newer generation cars. Somehow or rather, there is that advantage in terms of safety, in terms of more advanced structural engineering, which the Axia has, and the Saga has only sort of like, limited access to, right? So that's the reality. Okay, but that being said, old platform, but the car still has new technology, and it has an all-new engine, 1.5 liter 4-cylinder engine from the Geely group, making a pretty impressive 120 horsepower. Now, remember, not too long ago, Proton's own 1.6. Actually, no, not too long. Even today, Proton's own 1.6 that is still powering the Persona makes only 110 horsepower. So right now you've got a 1.5 making 120 horsepower, right? So this new Saga also, right now, from the way I see it, now suddenly may actually have the effect of rendering the Persona irrelevant, right? Because you have the Saga there, and then there's also the S70, which even though Proton calls the C segment, everybody knows it's a B segment product. So the persona now is somewhere, it's like neither here nor there, right? So it's in that 60K space, right? It's like, why do you want to spend that kind of money when you can get a Saga instead that gives you a more powerful engine and much newer generation technology? Unless Proton also is having a similar kind of update for the Persona in mind. All right, so if you're looking to sell your car and you would like to get back at least 85 to 90% of what it's worth, well, I'm offering a service now where my team will help you manage everything from marketing, customer viewing, test drive, inspection, the whole process. You just pass the car to us and we handle everything for you. Recently, we helped to transact a Honda Civic FD2R that otherwise would have just gotten the owner back about 98,000 ringgit if he had sold it to a used car dealer, versus getting back nearly 130,000 ringgit selling through us after deducting our commissions and our fees. So if you're interested to engage my team's service to help you sell your car on your behalf, get everything done for you, and still get back a majority of your money, fill in the link in the description section below and my team will be in touch to assist you. And now, back to the video. Now, the biggest debate that I see in the internet is that people are talking about whether this car can outsell the Beza. And I can tell you this, okay, if anybody is thinking along those lines, you are thinking along an irrelevant argument. Because what I will say is this, okay, the kind of demographic of buyers that will look at the Saga and look at the Beza, even though they may be in the same budget space, they may be in the same income level, they are totally different demographics. They are totally different demographics. You see, the thing is that, right, the Saga comes across as a more modern, a more sophisticated, a more stylish product. And kudos to Proton and Geely for making now I look at the Saga, right? To me, this is a car now that I see transcends class. It has that quality that the Myvi once had. You know, where in a sense that people who are in the entry level, they are on a tight budget, right? But they want something still nice, right? The Saga is something they can look to. Or people who are affluent buyers, they just want a spare car, or they want a car that they can go around inconspicuously and not when you stop by and buy durian by the roadside, people see your nice car, they go and slaughter you, right? No. So I think the new Saga definitely has definitely managed to reposition itself as a more aspirational product than it once was. Because I think the updates that Geely has put into the car, that Proton has put into the car, has, at the very least, in my opinion, reduced the cheapness of the product. It makes the product look more, it looks more acceptable to affluent buyers. Okay, and that's a big thing. Now, will it affect the Beza? I will say this: no, it will not. It will not. Okay, I believe that what will happen is that the Beza will have its steady stream of buyers. Okay, because here's the one thing that the Beza has gotten right from day one, right? That Perodua has never boasted the Beza is anything else but, is that the Beza is a car that promises consistency. It is a car that promises predictability. Now, whether that is true or not is different, but it promises that, it gives users, you know, the impression. People who buy Bezas, right, they are not buying the Beza because it's a nice car. They buy the Beza because they know what they're getting. With the Beza, everything, and I mean everything of that car is like, people seem to think that that is a car that they know what is the worst case scenario? If you get what I mean, right? So with the Beza number one, Beza holds resale values very strongly. Number two, the Beza is such a mechanically simple car that even if the worst case scenario happen, things go wrong, you are very, very unlikely to be hit with a four-figure bill. The Beza is a car that every morning you get inside there, you start it, it confirm will jalan one. That is what the Beza promised. That is why I don't care how good the new Saga is, the Beza will continue to sell as whatever numbers it is doing right now. So the Beza is already on its fixed trajectory. It already has its fixed set of clientele that will keep buying the car over and over and over and over again. These are the same people that will always buy the Beza, right? But where the Saga will come in is that people who want something a bit more stylish, but that is the budget that they have. Now they got an alternative. They got something that has the style, the pizzazz, right? And also the driving dynamics that was present in the Saga from day one that's still carried until now, right? So where I see the new Saga, it may outsell the Beza, or it may not. But one thing I do not see happening is that it will cause the Beza sales to drop. I do not see that happening, right? So yeah, that's my thoughts on the all new Proton Saga. I think I think it's a great product. It's good that consumers, fresh grad buyers now have a new option in this segment, and I think kudos to the Proton engineering team for putting in the necessary effort and the resources to suitably update. Yes, it is an aging platform, but I think Proton has done a great job to bring this car up to modern standards and and give Malaysian buyers something not cheap, not doesn't have that cheap feeling to look forward to, even though you are buying on an entry level budget. So I think the Saga is a great. The new Saga is a wonderful entry in the market. I look forward to the chance of test driving it. I've been busy. I didn't manage to attend the launch, but because there's so much debate going on, I just thought I'd like to share my views with you guys. And I think that let's put it this: if you have if you have already set your mind on the Beza, right? People have set their mind on the Beza, right? Will not look at the Saga. Will not look at the Saga, right? But yeah, it is a nice new product. It's a nice new product. And yeah, I would like to hear your thoughts. Share with me your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think of the new Saga? Would you be buying one? And I would especially interested to know if you happen to be somebody. I don't think there will be many of such people. If you happen to be somebody that you were previously looking at buying a Beza, but it's like, no, I'm going to cancel my Beza booking. I'm going to get a Saga. Right? Let me know in the comment section below. I look forward to see you in the next video. Bye.